What's up, everybody? It's the Digital World Podcast. And before I start this video, I want to go ahead and take a few moments to talk about a little bit of the Rittenhouse case and the after effects of that. Now, for any individual who surface reads or surface watches what the media is saying and has not looked into the actual trial and heard the uh, court hearings can easily be persuaded to think one way or the other. Now, I was watching a good portion of the trial, and I'm not here to discuss whether the verdict was correct or not. However, it's interesting that the mainstream media covered it and showed it or presented it in such a light that's got people, feeling some type of way. Now, what's the aftermath of this? Here's the situation. If we repeat again what happened summer 2020, you're going to see, I think maybe on a larger scale, mass protests that turn into riots. You can look at what happened in Portland, right? And I'm just saying, get ready, folks, because in the next coming months, you're gonna see this pick up. Right now, since we're headed into winter, it's gonna be less alive. But as we start heading into the warmer months and people can start going outside more, expect things like this to pick up. Riots, protests, pick up much more than they did last year. And it's just the beginning. You see everywhere, right, where there's already protests for these mandates. But now you mingle it in with protests and riots from, the mob that's caused by the mainstream media. And you get it everywhere, right? Now, and I'm just being hypothetical. I'm just putting out hypothetical situations where, what if these protests end up clashing with each other? What happens then? Or we saw that there was a parade, right? And a SUV, I don't know if you guys heard about this news, an SUV or a van or something like that drove through the parade. Like, what are people thinking? The world's gone mad, right? There's just complete anarchy. And you watch what's happened in the Netherlands, and it just seems like straight out of the movie Purge. So, my point is that things are getting worse, and this is a tune we've been talking about, and I talk and I try to keep this same consistency because I do not want us to get comfortable, just to become complacent in the crisis. Because the moment you become complacent, you're doomed to, fail. You're doomed to just be a part of what everyone else is doing. You got to keep your mind sharp, your skills sharp. Now, that's a long-winded intro into this article I want to cover today. But it ties in nicely because here we see shots are fired as flash mob raids Nordstrom in upscale California town. Now, I grew up in California, so that's my home state. And what has transpired policy-wise, economically it's expensive to live. Policy-wise, it's ridiculous what's going on there. But what I want to point out from this article is it doesn't matter if you're in the rich area or poor area. This is going to affect everyone. And you're going to see people starting to raid the rich areas and take away from these stores, houses. I mean, it's getting out of control where, you're not going to be safe being in these cities where crime abounds and where there's mob mentality. Here we see that there's dozens of looters. I actually think there's a video on here. Yeah, check out this video. So it says about 25 cars just blocked the street and rushed into the Walnut Creek Nordstrom, making off with goods before getting in cars and speeding away. At least 2 people got arrested at gunpoint. And it says the PF Chang's manager describes the chaos and said we probably saw 50 to 80 people in ski masks, crowbars, and a bunch of weapons. They were looting the Nordstroms. And I thought they were going to start beating cars. I had to start locking doors, lock the front door, lock the back door. Just crime. The crime that is happening, folks. There's no sense of morality. People have lost their minds. And so, here's the video. Here's one of the videos. So you see people stealing, going into their vehicles. You see that they've taken off their license plates. Unbelievable. And California has made it, I believe it's a petty crime if it's under $2,000. So it's just nothing that's being done about it. Sorry, that was my dog. Okay, that's one of the videos. Here's another video.
Careful, Victor. Shit, crossfire. Get out. That's in a bad spot. What are you guys doing? Hands up. Hands up. Get out of the car. Face that way.
There you see it. Okay. Now, and then I saw other videos of Louis Vuitton also, which is mentioned here in this article. It said ever since San Francisco officials passed Proposition 47, which lowered penalties for thefts under $950, there's been a dramatic increase in shoplifting. So I guess they just lowered the penalties, but they didn't change the dollar amount. Another liberal measure that has backfired as the Bay Area is now swarming with organized thieves targeting retailers, folks. And as these shortages increase, people are just going to start doing this more and more as they see videos. I mean, what we're living through now is I shouldn't say unprecedented because, if you look at history, things that start we're literally at the collapse of an empire. It seems like, the fiscal and monetary spending through the charts, what's happening on the streets. It's just all converging at all at the same time. And I've been talking on this channel and I've been saying that we're at a crossroads. And I did change my tune a bit because I was talking a lot about investments, especially in the crypto industry, and then I moved to cover more current events because I felt that I should dedicate more of that time to trying to get people to understand what we're living through and the things that are happening. Because at the end of the day, you can have all the money you want, but you can't eat gold, you can't eat dollar bills, you can't eat crypto. So the most important things are food, water, and your shelter. And as long as those basic fundamental needs are taken care of, then you can, go ahead and take care of the rest. But without those, you can't survive. So, if you're new to this channel and you're watching this for the first time, consider liking and subscribing. If you are already here, thank you for watching. Let me know your guys' thoughts, what you think about this. This is the Digital World Podcast, and I'll see you in the next episode.